Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Patrick Cristiano, your host, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs covering all things theater. And we have a really special guest today, an actor, Claybourne Elder, who is currently a featured star in Company. He's also in The Gilded Age, and he is going to be the MC for the Live Out Loud Gala. So we have a lot of stuff to catch up with him about. Claybourne, thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited to get to chat with you. So how are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. You know, we've had making theater in this time is a very strange thing to be doing. And we've had our COVID setbacks over the course of, you know, we opened in December, but we've never had to shut down the show, which is very exciting.
But it was planned before COVID, right? Company was.
It was.
So,
yes.
So you had to sit out the whole pandemic without any work, pretty much.
That's true. Yeah, we had 7 preview performances before the shutdown happened, and you know we all had inklings that there might be a shutdown, but really we were in the midst of previews and rehearsals. We were at the theater all day long.
You don't stop to think about it at all. Not one bit.
So we left the theater that night all saying see you tomorrow, and then didn't go back for 18 months.
But now you're back full storm and you're doing, like, you're so busy, probably you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know how you got through not doing anything, right? Let's just, for anybody that's not familiar with Company, we have like a little sizzle reel that kind of is a teaser that gives, it's a Stephen Sondheim musical, one of his finest, and he actually got to come see it before he died. Is that correct? Did you get to meet him?
Yeah.
Did you get to meet him?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So how was that?
Yeah, it was incredible. You know, he, Stephen Sondheim hates opening nights. He hated opening nights, but he loved first previews. And he got to be there on our first preview, and that was a really magical night. And after the show, he came back to the back of the house and we kept the bar open, and he just sat and talked to us for almost 2 hours. Yeah. And then I helped him out to his car. Yeah, a long time. And then I helped him out to his car that night, and I remember watching the car drive away from the theater, and that was the last time I ever saw him. Did
you think maybe this might be, you know, he's so old and I might never get to see him again?
Well, you know, he was old enough that I think it wasn't necessarily a surprise.
But I mean, then that evening, and then in that evening, did you think that you might never ever get to meet him again? Did you think that ever in the evening?
No, he seemed great. He seemed, in fact, so with it and healthy, and so it seemed. So I mean, to see, it wasn't a surprise because he was old, but I think that it was just very sudden. You know, it was very sudden for all of us.
Especially that he's coming out to see the show, you know, right then and there. But what a way to go, right?
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway, let's just for anybody that isn't familiar with Company, you guys do it in a different. Let's show the sizzle reel and then talk about the switch. Okay. Okay. How does that work? I think so. And then we'll tell them what it's about a bit for people that don't know Company.
Phone rings, door chimes, in comes Company. No strings, good times, room hums, Company. Good and crazy people, your friends. These good and crazy people, your married friends. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yes! That's what it's really about, isn't it? That's what it's really about, really about.
That's a teaser about the show. And for anybody that didn't know, the hunk swinging the shirt around with the torso naked, that's Claybourne.
That is me.
You do your character that you create in the show. was so funny. You're a flight attendant. Did you hook up with the lead? What's the character's name in the? Help me out.
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy is the.
No, the one you hook up with. I know you're Andy.
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby. Yes, Bobby.
Yes, yeah.
So you're a flight attendant who hooks up with Bobby, which in this version is a woman, and it's always been a man before. And so your flight attendant was a woman originally, right?
Yes.
So now it's role reversal, but it works so beautifully.
You know, I can't imagine it the other way now.
I heard you say that.
Have
you ever seen it the other way?
I have, and I've loved it and listened to it my whole life. And I think anybody who really loves theater and theater history knows this show and knows it well. And the songs are so iconic. And so when I heard they were doing a gender swapped version of it, I was so curious. I really wanted to go to London to see it, though I'm very glad now that I didn't go to London to see it, because I didn't want to have anything in my head, that anybody else had done. And it would be hard to do. I mean, it is done today with the traditional male, lead character, but you have to set it in the 1970s when it was originally premiered on Broadway, I think, because otherwise the gender politics involved and the relationship politics involved don't make sense. And so what's incredible about this revival to me is that it's taken this show that could probably feel a little dated and has brought it into a modern era, set it in present day, made the lead character a woman, and just by this one swap, it has totally modernized the story. It feels so present and so today. And I think that the people that I know who have come to see it are surprised by how moved they are by material that is, over 40 years old.
For anybody that doesn't know, it's about a person that's afraid of commitment. And originally it's always been a man that does this role, and a man with all his friends around him that are in marriages and trying to get him to get married. Now we have a woman, which I thought really works so well, because women are so pushing the envelope, and there are so many women that don't want to, want commitments anymore. They see, the tragedies of a lot of marriages, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
So I actually think it works better. And I've heard people that don't like it as well, but everybody taste is subjective. Objective.
True. It's very true. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
I especially loved what you were doing. It was so funny. Claybourne plays a really narcissistic flight attendant that is so sensitive to all his own feelings. It's like, and it works so well. And she gets bored with him so fast. It's like, no matter. Oh, it was really cute. So there's a wonderful song from the musical that features you really well. I Could Drive a Person Crazy, and we have a clip from it. So let's go with that, okay? And then we'll talk about Live Out Loud.
Knock, knock, I'm working all my time. Knock, knock, a zombie's in my arms. All that sweet affection, what is wrong? Where's the loose connection? How long, oh Lord, how long? Bobby, baby, Bobby, 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 you could drive a person frantic. You could blow a person's cool. Like to get a person all romantic while you make them feel a fool. But when a person says you just don't get her, that's when you're good. You impersonate a person better than a zombie should. I could understand a person if she wasn't good in bed. She's good. No shit. I could understand a person if she actually was dead. Ba-da-da-da. Exclusive you. Elusive you. Will any person ever get the juice of you? You're crazy. You're a troubled person. You're a moving, deeply maladjusted, never to be trusted, crazy person. You're sad. Bobby is my hobby and I'm giving it up.
love it. Before we move on to Live Out Loud, because there's so much to talk about company, it's hard to, we could do a whole show talking just about company. But how was Katrina Link working with her? I mean, I just adored her in the band's visit. Yeah.
She is, you know what's amazing? So I play a flight attendant who, you know, is dating her, and I met her on a plane. I just got cast in company. Isn't that insane?
Yes.
I just got cast in company, and I was in Chicago flying back to New York.
No.
I was with my husband, and we got on the plane, and we walked down the aisle, and we walked past her. And I was like,
this is after your cast.
Wait, yes.
This
and we had never met before, though we know a lot of the same people. But I was like, I can't believe that. So we went to the flight happened, and on the flight, I got up and walked up to her seat, and I was like, hi, I'm Clay. I just got cast in company with you. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. And we chatted, but we met on an airplane, which is—
that is such a memorable moment. You'll never forget that. No, that's so fabulous. Oh, wow.
But she's just wonderful. She's such an incredible actress. She's so intuitive and inquisitive. And, you know, I miss being in rehearsal with her just because it was so fun just to talk and think and imagine and dream about what these scenes could be and who these people could be and what the relationship is. It was so fun. I hope I get to work with her again someday.
Well, I hope you do too. But on another one, you have a legend you're in the show who you share the same birthday with, and tell us that wonderful story too, because Patti LuPone.
Excuse me. So I knew that Patti and I had the same birthday because I am a gay man who is a fan of hers, and not that has anything to do with being a fan of hers, but I am. And so I knew it, and we were in rehearsal and all sitting around kind of on a break chatting, and somebody brought up birthdays, and we all started chatting about birthdays, and Patti said, oh, my birthday is April 21st. And
You pretended like it
impossible. Pretended like I didn't know, and was like, oh, what, your birthday? What's a birthday? That's so funny. I have a birthday and it's the same day as yours. And she took my face in her hands and she said, that means we're soulmates. And we've been close since. You know, she's so wonderful. We made plans on her birthday together. You know, like we have a part of the show where we secretly hold hands. I'll let you guess where it is, but every night in the show we hold hands for a second. And
well, I'm going to come a second time, so I'm going to look for it now. Okay.
Look for it and see if you can see it. And you know, we have like this. We have a little ritual off stage together before the second act, because the second act consists kind of like my portion of the show with Bobby, and then another portion, and then Patti's portion. So we kind of gathered together backstage before the second act, and she's just incredible. And you know, we all stand on stage when she sings "Ladies Who Lunch," and getting to watch her do it every single night is not only a master class, but it's just thrilling every single time. She is such an electric performer that is continually electric, which I think is the most incredible thing about her, is that she did this production in London. She's played this part before in concert. She's known it and sung that song a lot of times. And every single time it's slightly different. And I almost don't know how she does it. It's so incredible.
Well, she's in the moment.
Yeah, really.
And she surrenders to the moment as the character. She's wonderful. She's a shoo-in for the Tony Award, I think. I mean, I can't imagine how she will win everything.
I hope so.
So moving on, I guess what I did, I forgot to mark the time when we started. I marked it. I think I've lost 5 minutes. I don't know. We'll wing it. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Moving on to Live Out Loud a little bit, because how, you know, let's Live Out Loud first of all for my guests is an organization that serves LGBTQ people. Men and women, and they empower youth by finding role models, which you're one of them, amongst many other people, and they give resources and education to help people find their own voices and to be able to live their own life in a true and honest way. And they're having their gala, which is May 23rd from 6 to 10 at the Lighthouse at the Chelsea Piers, Pier 61. And you are going to be the MC for the evening. Which I've been, and I'll be there too, probably. I've been many times in the past. So it's a wonderful organization that I wholly support, especially for, for people that are confused about their identity and don't understand and need role models. And so which leads me to, how do you get from Utah to being an actor, activist, proud gay dad?
Yeah, there is no reason why I should have ended up on Broadway. I grew up in a very, very small town in Utah. My mom was a school teacher. My dad was a builder. I was the only one in the family interested in theater. But from an early age, it just was the thing I wanted to do. And that's one reason why I'm so passionate about Live Out Loud is I felt very alone in high school.
Me too.
And I felt like, and I think that's a very common situation. And I think that, if I had somebody say to me or had met somebody like me who had been on Broadway or who had made it as an actor or in the theater at all, I would have been a lot less lost for about 6 years. And that's just what they do. They're going into high schools. They're bringing leaders of the community who are out people, showing these high school students who are that they can be a successful actor. They can work at Google. They can work on TV, showing them what is possible. And I think what they're doing is they're training the leaders of tomorrow by showing them some of the leaders of today. And I think that, for me, as a person who would really wish that I had that, I love being a part of it. And I think what they do is so powerful and incredible. But I grew up in Utah. I ended up I went to college in Utah.
When growing up in Utah, did you know always you were gay, or was there a moment that was there ever a conflict?
I have 7 siblings. I have 6 brothers and 1 sister.
Oh my God! and I noticed your tribute in the program is to your parents and how supportive they were. So I'm sure a lot of people don't get that either. So I can't, you're very lucky. So.
And actually, my parents are coming to see the show this week for the first time.
Get out!
They have a little bit of a hard time traveling. So I flew out to Utah on Sunday night after my matinee and picked them up and brought them back yesterday, so that they could come out and spend a few days and see the show. So they are coming to see the show for the first time. They don't even know that in the playbill I've written a tribute to them because they've never seen it. So I'm really,
my
really
question
excited.
Though, when did you know you were gay? Was it something you always knew? How was your?
So I have 7 siblings. My brother, just older than me, is also gay. And we knew about each other from a very early age. And I came out when I was 17, and then sort of went back in and sort of came back out, as lots of people do when they're first.
I understand.
Yeah. And then by about 2021, I was out. And
comfortably out. It's a process, so I'm wondering.
I was out. Yeah. I grew up in a very, very conservative place, and I was lucky enough to have parents who were incredible and supportive. But the community is not very supportive where I am from, and now it's.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine.
What's incredible now is I'm in touch with so many of my high school friends. Many of them come to see me in company, and they are all so supportive and wonderful. And I think when I was younger, they would have been if they had understood it more, or if I had been more open with them. Honestly, if I felt like I could share with them more, they probably would have been more receptive. But I was scared to come.
Well, it's a two-way street, though. It's a two-way street too. And you can't, especially when, you know, we're all young at that moment.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So, oh, thank you guys. Because I was, real quickly, and how did they
Yeah.
get to see you on the Gilded Age? Do they know about the Gilded Age too, of your friends and things like that?
Yes, 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 which has been very fun. I've been so many people who've seen the Gilded Age who I haven't talked to in a long time have reached out to say like, "Oh my gosh, you're on the Gilded
And
Age."
for people
And
that
that's
don't,
been very
the
exciting.
Gilded Age is but I haven't seen the Gilded Age, so forgive me, but everyone I talk to has seen it and they love it. So it must be really wonderful. And oh my God, the cast of Broadway people, you don't get to meet any of them, right?
No, I do. I mean, I've got,
Oh,
you know, and it's kind of like, it feels like,
oh.
you know, we all have read-throughs together. Now they're on Zoom, but when we had our first read-throughs before the pandemic, they were all in person. And it felt like a family reunion. It was like everyone I'd ever worked with before and anyone I'd ever admired before, you know?
The list is boggling, absolutely boggling.
It is mind-boggling.
How
And
exciting.
you know, yeah. And I've gotten to become close with some people that I've never worked with in the theater world who, because of this, you know, we didn't know each other, but because we're both Broadway people, we're family. And so we immediately like clung to each other. And that has been really, really wonderful.
Oh, cool. Well, we don't have a lot of time. Let's just show, we have a small clip. It's very short of you as John Adams. I could have gone on with it, but they didn't send me any more.
Okay.
And from the Gilded Age.
Mr. Adams, how good of you to drop by. What can we give you?
Nothing. Thank you, Mrs. Van Ryn.
May I present Mr. Adams, my dear? Miss Marion Brooke is my niece. She has just arrived in the city.
Is it your first visit to New York?
It's my first visit to almost anywhere. Can you help me with what I should see?
I'm sure Mrs. Van Ryn will have a comprehensive list of museums.
So the Russells have moved into their house in my absence.
Don't remind me.
I ran it.
I wanted to see more of that because I haven't seen any of it. So it looks like fun a little bit. Do you want to say anything about it at all?
Yeah, you know, we started just like company. We had our first read-throughs. We were just about to film the pilot when everything shut down. And my first work back from COVID was going to shoot the first season of Gilded Age, which we started filming during the pandemic. And I will just tell this one story, which is that,
and we have about a minute and a half to do it in.
Yeah, perfect. That scene I shot was my first day on set, and I was there with Christine Baranski and Cynthia Nixon, and we didn't see each other's faces because we had masks on until we were doing takes. And the first time we all took our masks off and did a take, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Cynthia Nixon and Christine Baranski, and I'm acting with them. And it took me a second.
So you're getting the double, you're getting the double whammy that they're stars, and now you're getting the real emotion too because the mask is gone. It's like.
Yes, yes.
Before we go, I just want to give a final plug for the Live Out Loud Gala, which is May 23rd from 6 to 10. The Lighthouse at the Chelsea Piers, Pier 61, and Claybourne Elder is going to be the MC. They're going to give awards, $5,000 scholarship awards to gay role models that demonstrate wonderful skills to lead other people. And we're going to be there and dance and have a good time. So thank you so much for coming to do this. It's a pleasure chatting with you.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm coming back to see company, so I'm going to look for that moment.
All right. Perfect.
Oh, wait. Do we have a minute to show? Can I show a picture of you and your husband?
Oh, yes, please.
We have a picture of you and your husband, Eric, and your child. Can we show that? What's the baby's name?
Oh, his name's Bo.
Oh. Oh my God. Now, this is a classic example of today's role model for gay men. Thank you so much for being there.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Ciao.